This is Coffee with Stripes, special book club edition. We're here with Dex Quire, author of 2 books, Seattle author. Did I say that right?
That's
Quire?
right. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for coming by, Dex. How's it going, man?
Thanks, Joe. It's been great. Yeah. Stripes is, been a big fan for a long time. And it's a privilege, actually, to be here.
Well, thank you so much for having us out here, man. So, I'm super curious about your literature. What can you tell me about your work?
Okay. Well, novel number 1. I'm very proud of these covers because I do think you should judge books by their covers. If you see kind of a dull cover on a book, it's like, just pass on that book, really. Because the one of the secrets of the graphics world is how... Now, I got to be careful here. I don't want to accuse graphics people of being lazy. Since I think you guys are graphics people, I don't want to get into that.
A lot of the work we do is admittedly lazy.
But some of your best friends are graphics people. I know that
sure.
about you. So I've got to be
yeah.
careful. But what I'm trying to say is I think one of the unheralded pieces of graphic real estate in this world, modern world, is the back cover of books, or a book, or specifically novels. And I tried to get around that by developing the back cover of my first book, which was called The Transformations, A Tale of Modern Sin. And I hope that you get the humor, or the ironic humor, of the kind of rather pompous Latin word transformations. Of course. And note that
Oh, we have a picture here. This looks like I want to say a 15th century...
Durer, the
Durer.
great woodblock
woodblock,
artist.
a Danish woodblock artist.
Yes.
And it's one of those, you got Adam and Eve, both, being very modest and covering their, presumably, if they had been drawn, very tiny genitals for the era. And then you have the Serpent of Satan, who, strangely, he has an anthropomorphized little human head. And
He
that's
does.
just creepier than heck. And, yeah, man, neat.
So all the sins are there, and that's fun. You can't go wrong with Durer, really. He's always good for anything that you want. If you're starting a magazine, or if you need filler, Durer is great. But in addition to that, the back cover includes a facsimile nutrition facts that you see on every single label of food packaging. And I thought, well, I better warn the reader what kind of package they're getting into. And I don't want to get into it too much, but we've got serving size, 1 novel, servings per container, about 21 chapters, calories per chapter, 220, not quite sure what that means. Fat from cliches, 0.
No.
That I am proud of, because I think you can read the whole book and you won't encounter any cliches in the book. I'm very, very proud of that.
It's like a boneless chicken breast.
Exactly. Oh, Joe, you're a natural. That's a very literary analogy, by the way. There are no bones in here. It's all just wonderful morsels of meat and fun. So, should I give you a little synopsis, or start off?
Take it wherever you would like to go.
Okay. Basically, I like to get into the conflict, as they say, in novels or literary works right away. If I can do it in the first page, great. If I can do it in the first paragraph, even better. The conflict that we are plunged into very quickly is that we have a kind of sad sack loser type guy, let's say a kid at odds with himself in his 20s, who sends off for penis enlarging ointment. And
You read my autobiography.
I don't know, because there's more to it. He actually rubs it on and it works to his pleasure, but then he also turns into a donkey
Oh.
as an additional kind of what we would call a rather unfortunate byproduct. And so the novel is essentially, how does this young character disentangle himself from his kooky efforts at becoming a Mr. Stud and turn back into a human being.
Okay.
And he is
Little shade of Pinocchio in there, perhaps.
a little bit. He he is raked across a whole series of adventures that include being held in the city zoo, where he gets caught up in a echo attack where all the animals are freed, and he is rounded up and sent away from the zoo and sent out into the outback of the Pacific Northwest to grind flour for a religious commune that makes money off of bakery products.
I work there right now. No, I'm just kidding.
And he has so many foibles, not really being a donkey. He participates in a donkey basketball tournament. Did you know was such a thing, or there is such a thing in American culture as donkey basketball?
Wow.
If you don't know this, or if you didn't know this, you don't know anything about America. There actually is donkey basketball. When you get off the interstate, you can't believe how strange America is. That's why I think Europeans, they never get it. You know, they come over here and they go to New York City and they have some food and they say, well, you know, it's not like back home. It's okay. And they might go see the Grand Canyon. But they've never seen a donkey basketball game. And these are big fundraisers out in the hinterlands of America. Anyway, our character gets involved in donkey basketball. The communards get tired of him and decide to send him down to their counterparts in Mexico, where he has a whole other series of adventures. And I'll kind of leave it at that and let you explore further if you like.
Neat. So it goes. You got kind of a sin by sin kind of escalation for him to follow, or
very much so. Yeah,
interesting.
That's a good way to put it.
I like it.
And I should also mention that there is the novel is a pastiche or a reworking of an ancient novel called, strangely enough, The Metamorphosis or The Golden Ass, and it was written back in Roman times by a writer named Apuleius, and it also involves a character who turns into a donkey and has a lot of crazy adventures. And it's quite a good novel. I really recommend anybody to read The Golden Ass.
I love ancient Roman stuff. Yeah.
Prior to this or concurrent with this, it's a wonderful book.
Interesting.
And that was obviously the inspiration for this. So I hope I fulfilled or kept up with Apuleius, and I'll let you, the reader, be the judge of that. And keep moving.
That's The Transformations.
The
A Tale of Modern
Transformation.
Sin. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, and what's this other guy?
Next online is a novel I finished about a year ago called Crocodile Words. No subtitle. But again, I hope that by the cover you can judge that there's fun to be had, that it is not too serious and shouldn't be taken too seriously. Although there is a serious strain that we will touch on as we talk about it a little bit. But again, I'm a firm believer in back covers. So graphic artists, get on your marks. Start thinking about how you can develop the back covers of books. It's a very undeveloped piece of graphic real estate in which very little imagination has been applied to. They're mostly boring. You mostly see quotes from other writers and other authors who are friends of the writers.
Or it'll
right?
be like a kind of like a bland write-up where they don't want to give away too much. You know, like just look at the back of every Stephen King book. You know,
right? Yeah, and it's they might throw a teaser in there or something, but it's dull, and everybody expects the back cover to be dull. But I tried to. Well, here's the back cover. I tried to do something different. It's a continuation of the front cover,
what is
in
that
which we have a
got
crocodile.
like a circus, like a balancing ball.
Well, I'm a little reluctant to tell you exactly what it is, Joe.
Don't give it away. Yeah. Okay.
I might
Save
get
the
back.
secret.
I might get back to it, but you're close. You focused on a detail that's very important. See, everything has meaning in this.
All right.
But what we've got is a little dialogue that actually happened. I was driving and I was chauffeuring my dad. Actually, he was in the back seat. I was driving, and we were talking about this book, and he said, Dex's dad. I can read it to you here. It's real short. He said, "What's the book about?" That's what everybody asks writers. And I said, "It's a love letter to Seattle." Dex's dad, "That sounds good." And then we jump down here where Dex says, "Seattle is so unnovelized, it's like picking up free similes everywhere." Dex's dad, "Uh-huh." Dex says, "It's also a mischievous poke at terrorism and their enablers in the West." And Dex's dad, he started falling asleep on me as I got into the heavier aspects of the book.
All right. Well, thanks for sitting down and talking to us.
Mike, you're very welcome. Thanks for having me. And Skip, the Wonder Dog, one of my great supporters. Is that really his name, Skip?
Stripes.
No. Stripes. Right on. Stripes.
You can tell
He keeps
because
his company.
he's a Dalmatian.
Yep, all the stripes on him. Yep, right on.
All right. Till next time, this has been Coffee with Stripes Book Club Edition. Thanks again, Dex.
Thank you, everybody.